What is up, everybody? Philip Bridges, and today we're talking about Milwaukee's M18 cordless compound miter box saw. Coming right up. All right, today we're talking about Milwaukee's M18 compound miter box saw, cordless. This has Milwaukee's brushless motor system in it, which is phenomenal. You can do up to 400 cuts on this saw per charge. Now it retails for about $400 for the tool only, and you can get the 9.0 battery with it for about $5.99. I'll put links in the description below and you can check those out. This is a 10-inch blade. It's not the 7 1/4. Milwaukee does make a 7 1/4 inch, but this is the 10-inch version. And Milwaukee is coming out with a 12-inch version of the compound miter box saw too. But all in all, I think mostly everybody only needs the 10-inch. You know, unless you're like a carpenter who, you know, is going to be using it all the time and it's going to be cutting big pieces of wood and stuff like that, you know, the 12-inch is, you know, going to be for them when it comes out. But, you know, for the rest of us, the 10-inch is going to work perfectly. The weight on this is 45 pounds without the battery. The RPMs on this is about 4,000 RPMs. First, let's unlock this. To unlock it, there is a pin on the side. You're gonna push down on the top of the unit just a little bit, and there's a pin that you just slide right out. And then the unit will fully come right up. Okay, the max angle you'll get on both sides is 48 degrees, right and left. Now this saw has the bevel. So if we want to change the bevel, all we do is we lift the back part up, and wherever you lock it, that stays. The bevel, how you change the bevel on this is really easy. Now with this bevel lock, we want to slide the fences out so we can almost get full range of this. In actuality, if you want to get full range of this, you're going to have to take the fences off. That's if you're going to do a bevel that's about 60 degrees, or 45, I'm sorry, 45 I meant. So you can do a full 45 degree bevel on this, which is really nice. I really like this locking system because it's just one lever. You're not messing with anything else. There's no bolts or anything like that. It's just once you let go of this locking mechanism, when you pull it forward and you just let go, it locks it in place, which is really nice. Now to get our sliding motion on this, there's a little wing nut here that you unloosen, and then now you're able to slide the saw and get a nice cut. And it easily locks just by tightening the wing nut. Now we have a max depth cut on this saw. We have a max depth cut of 6 inches. So we can do a 6x6 board, and we can cut it all the way through. For a 90-degree cross cut, we can do a 2x12. We can do a 45-degree miter cross cut with a 2x8, and we can do a 5 bevel with a 2x12. This has a quick change blade system, which is really nice because there's just one button, and you push the fence up, and this fence will stay. This fence will stay in its spot. And then right there, it'll stay. And then there's a button you push on the side, and then you can easily lock it down. And then they give you an Allen on the side of this unit so you can tighten and loosen the blade. Now this blade does not have or the saw does not have a laser like how most saws do, where, you know, once the saw blade goes, there is a laser that shines down and it shows you the cut. And so what Milwaukee did instead is they did a shadow line, and a light shines down on top of the blade and it casts a shadow on what you're working on, or what you're gonna cut, and it'll shine down and leave a shadow of the blade, and that will be your line of where you're gonna be cutting at. And it actually works out really nice. I didn't think I'd like it at first, but it's you know, it's pretty nice, and it's pretty visible in daylight too. So, you know, they did a good job on that. That's just one thing you gotta worry about changing battery on, is that laser, you know, in the long run. I hooked up the M18 backpack vacuum to this. Link in description above if you want to check out the Milwaukee backpack vacuum. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn the backpack vacuum on, and we're going to run the saw, and we're going to see how well it collects some sawdust. I'm going to cut some of this board up. We're going to really see how much this will collect the dust when we run it. So let's turn it on. And I'm just going to make a bunch of cuts. All right, I just cut up a bunch of this 1x8 that I had just kind of laying around, that's been on my shelf for a while. And, you know, I got some sawdust around here, but, you know, let's check out and see how much I picked up in the vacuum. I picked up quite a bit in the vacuum. You know, I made probably about 8 or 10 cuts. Really don't have too much sawdust on the table or anything like that. You know, it's probably a handful, but most of that was from the first cut that I made without the vacuum system on it. But you know, you're gonna have some dust issues with any saw, like I said before. But you know, you just want to try to keep that contained. This is really nice. Everything, it has pretty much all the features that any compound miter box saw has, but this is cordless. Would I recommend this saw for anybody? I would definitely recommend it for people who, you know, they want to get in and out, and it's great if you have to do little stuff here and there. You can just grab it and you don't have to worry about getting a cord. If you think about it, if you think about when you're setting up your day, if you're a carpenter or a woodworker, and you're doing your job and you're setting up, and you got to find, what's everybody do every time they set up their saw? They got to bust out an extension cord, then they got to find power. And if you're new to the job site and you really don't know where power is, because sometimes if you're trimming a new house, sometimes they don't have power everywhere, and so you have to go and look for a outlet that is hot in the house and stuff like that. So if you think about it, so like let's say every time you bust out your saw to work, and you spend about 5 minutes getting a cord, plugging it in, doing all that stuff, and then it takes 5 minutes for you to actually start working after you do that. So you do that every day for a year. Okay, so that comes out to like about 21, I want to say 21 and a half hours or something like that of just trying to find power for your saw. That's throughout the year. That's about how much time that you spend trying to find power, hooking up power, getting a cord out and everything like that. You really don't think about, you know, that time adding up, but you know, time is money. And so like if, let's say you're charging $25 an hour, let's just say roughly, for the year, 21 hours of trying to find power over the year for your saw, that pays for the saw itself already. And just spending 5 minutes trying to hook up power for your tables or your miter box saw every day that you use it. So you got to kind of think about it that way. You got to think smart in that way too. If you have any questions or comments, comment down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm Philip Bridges, and thanks for watching.